The Treasury's decision not to extend some Fed emergency lending programs is having an immediate economic impact, and it's being felt on Main Street. Our senior economics reporter, Steve Leisman, is here. He's got more on this front. Steve, good morning.
Good morning, Becky. Thank you. The decision by Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin not to extend the funding for the Federal Reserve's Main Street lending facility after December 31st looks to be cutting into lending right now, even though it's open for several more weeks. This, according to several bankers we've talked to involved with the program. CNBC has learned that after Mnuchin made his decision on November 19th, some borrowers were told there was no longer time to close their loans, leaving them short of funds amid the resurgent pandemic. One borrower we talked to who asked not to be named said, "It's a huge impact on our ability to remain liquid and finance our business." One banker told me he could only process 30 of 100 loans in his pipeline. The decision coming less than 3 weeks after the Fed and the Treasury opened up more businesses to the program, including lowering the minimum loan size to $100,000. Dan Yates from Endeavor says, "We've been averaging about 4 or 5 calls a day from good companies, but we've had to turn them away." His company has done about 20 Main Street loans to this point. The Main Street program never lived up to its promise of loaning out $600 billion. It was too bureaucratic, bankers say, and put too much risk on borrowers. But bankers said approvals were speeding up. The 2 best weeks of the program were the 2 before Mnuchin announced he was shutting it down. Treasury declined to comment for this story. The Fed would only say it's doing all it can to process loans before the deadline at the end of the year. Now, most bankers I spoke with, they offered plenty of criticism of this program and suggestions for how the Biden administration could do it better. But right now, it's the only government assistance available for struggling mid-sized businesses to make it through the COVID crisis, Becky.
Steve, this is a huge issue. I mean, the kind of criticism to this point has been, or some of the conventional wisdom has been, that nobody was using this program anyway, so it wouldn't make such a big difference. But it sounds like there were some changes that really kind of kicked it into high gear very, very recently. About how long were the loans taking to approve, and how come there's not time to get one in before December 31st? It's only December 8th right now.
Right, so it started off really rocky. One banker I talked to said his first application from the bank to the Fed was kicked back 7 times, including, by the way, for not capitalizing the letter L in the word loan. But things began to speed up. Accountants and the lawyers and everybody got more familiar with the process, and it was taking about 30 days for the bank to approve the loan, which, by the way, is pretty much what it takes to approve a commercial loan, because the terms were not all that different. Remember, the banks had to retain 5%. It was speeding up. Then the Fed would take another 4 days. So effectively, when Mnuchin ended the program November 19th, the Fed came along and said, we need all the applications by December 14th. So the idea of not extending the program for at least some borrowers ended the program right there.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.